How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. This is absolutely ludicrous. Something kind of crazy came out today, and yeah, it looks like something's about to get eviscerated tomorrow. And we'll hear more about that in about 12, 24 hours, something like that. 18 hours. I think 18 hours. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a huge number, and people are kind of concerned about this. A lot of people are talking about this. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. Also, there's a link to Margex underneath the video. As you can see, this is just from the 4th or 5th of August. We've created this low triangle. I actually played this beautifully, if you don't mind me saying so. I opened up a position just a little while ago, went super aggressive, 100x. I actually made a video earlier today talking about how you can go aggressive, and 100x, very aggressive, but pretty much nailed the bottom because we're at the bottom of this channel, right? And you don't get this right every time. I'm not saying to go on 100x leverage because this was a small position for me because it is so risky, but yeah, I mean, beautiful play, up 140%. Definitely can afford a decent meal now just from the profits of this trade. But you can check out the link underneath the video to Margex in case you want to trade 100x. I would not suggest it, but some people like to do that. And I want to try out my technical analysis skills in a very high pressure situation. And so far it's worked out. But there's that link. There's also a link to Blowfin underneath the video as well, where you can put trades on that go down all the way to 3x. So sometimes I do that as well, some longer term positions. And actually you can see the funding rate actually negative, which means there are more shorts than longs. Pretty interesting there. But let's start here. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s running mate, Nicole Shanahan, says they're considering dropping out and joining forces with Trump. And basically in this video from Impact Theory, she says there are a couple different options, but it seems like they might be leaning towards endorsing Trump to give some of those voters that they would have, maybe that 1% or something like that, over to Trump and hopefully sway the outcome of this election. Now, both Kennedy and Trump are pro-Bitcoin. I think that's a good point, Bitcoin Magazine. But we'll have to see what happens here. Obviously, there have been actually a lot of shakeups recently in the polling and the betting markets, but it seems like maybe they're just trying to wreck people. Like I heard someone say that they don't really care anymore looking at Polymarket or the betting markets to see who's in the lead for the presidency. The fact is that some people might just try to manipulate those numbers to freak people out and then take opposite sides of the trade, which is interesting. Now, as you can see here too, this is what's going around so much on Twitter today. Kamala Harris backs President Biden's 44.6% capital gains tax proposal. This is the highest in history. The proposal includes a 25% tax on unrealized gains for high net worth individuals. Now, I'm not sure what this would exactly mean, as in, who's considered a high net worth individual. I saw someone else report maybe it was $100 million or something, but tax on unrealized gains is unprecedented, and in my opinion, it's kind of ludicrous because think about all the individuals that get paid in shares, right? They would have to constantly sell off billions and billions and billions of dollars, taking away from companies, right? That would be just insane. And some entities are not easy to sell, right? Like, okay, let's say you own a $15 million property. How are you going to get taxed on unrealized gains in the value of that property? Like the fact is, this just gets kind of crazy, and I'm not even sure what this would be including if it's just stocks and stuff. But this is not going to be good. What if it's in a tax sheltered account? What happens then? It just I think this is pretty idiotic to do a 25% tax on unrealized gains. Of course, like, I know I'll get some people that are fired up in the comment section, but even this, like 44.6% capital gains tax, don't we get taxed enough? Like, I know this would be on the richest individuals out there, but 44.6%, that just means that there are going to be more tax loopholes to get around it for the really wealthy individuals. But yeah, maybe if you make a couple $1 million in stocks or something, do you want to be paying 44.6% capital gains tax on that? That'd be the highest ever. And yeah, it just, imagine you get a 10x on a stock and all of a sudden you have to pay half of your gains in in taxes. I mean, people will find other ways of investing if that's the case, in my opinion, or other places to invest. I think it would just definitely cause a lot of people not to feel like the stock market is the place to go, or even, real estate. There are going to be more 1031 exchanges. If you think the housing market's tough now, imagine if you have to pay 44.6% capital gains. People will never sell anything that they've made a good amount of money on. Now, breaking, and of course, I'm not an accountant, but those are just some of my initial thoughts on it. Fed to revise job numbers down up to 1 million in what may be the largest downward revision in 15 years, according to Bloomberg. Fake jobs, fake inflation, fake GDP. So this is coming from Bloomberg. They have the jobs revision tomorrow. Apparently, some institutions are reporting an estimate of very large decreases in jobs. Goldman Sachs economists expect growth for the financial or growth of the year will be at least 600,000 weaker than current estimates. So they added 2.9 million jobs. They think it's actually 600,000 less. And the decline could be as much as 1 million. A downward revision of 501,000 would be the largest in 15 years, basically since the 2008 crisis, Bloomberg reported, and would suggest the labor market has been cooling for longer than what was originally thought. This would probably cause a lot of fear in the market. I mean, obviously it would make it so that there's almost 100% certainty, in my opinion, that we cut rates in September, but there's already 100% certainty of that. So people will just worry that we're going to go into recession or something. So it will be very fascinating. Get ready for some volatility tomorrow. Like, that could be interesting. Right now, the stock market was just down slightly today. Crypto doesn't seem to be too scared about this, but it will be fascinating to see. You can see a couple $1 billion printed by Tether. $2 billion in 2 minutes. And as you can see, the stablecoin's total market cap has hit a record of $165 billion, the highest ever. This often signals rising Bitcoin and crypto prices. I mean, even if it just becomes the same percentage of market dominance, the fact is, if it's growing, then the whole market's growing. And if it goes up versus the whole market cap, then there's just more money sitting on the sidelines getting ready to pounce in to the market. And of course, some of this might be people selling to go cash, but I think a lot of people would take it out of the market then as well. I mean, I don't think we typically see stablecoins just become, 50% of the dominance in the market in bear markets. That doesn't happen. So I think people are cashing up, getting ready for deployment, and maybe aping into some altcoins or something like that if they think dominance peaks. Mr. 100 buying some Bitcoin here today. You can see buying 200 Bitcoin after buying 510 Bitcoin or so yesterday. And that was after he bought some the day before, and 2 days before that, and the day before that. So yeah, Mr. 100 is buying a decent amount. Are you DCing into Bitcoin? Let me know down below in the comment section if you've been buying, selling, or holding, if you don't mind. Also, if you do want to trade crypto, there is that link underneath the video to Margex, so you can definitely check that out. And let me know what you think about some of these tax proposals, and what do you think about unrealized capital gains tax and nearly 50% capital gains tax as well on the upper end. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.